Hi everyone, my name is Izzy Bolsius, and today I'm reviewing the book called A Million Little Pieces by James Frey. And this is a memoir about the author James as he battles his addiction and enters rehab after years and years of substance abuse with alcohol and drugs. And to kind of give a brief idea of the content of this book, I would say that it's super raw, emotional, intense, and though it is marketed as nonfiction, it's a bit controversial as years later it came to be that a lot of his book was actually fabricated. But yeah, regardless, we're going to get into it. So another brief overview, A Million Little Pieces kind of just shows his experience at the rehab facility as he kind of tries to confront his trauma and shame and need for kind of personal responsibility. And it's written in a first-person perspective, and it kind of dives into the chaos of his inner world. And again, though it's technically a memoir, a lot of it is fabricated. For this book's ideas and purpose, at its core, I would say that it wrestles with the ideas of pain and healing and really personal identity. It explores the bigger ideas of nature, of addiction, and not only just as like a physical dependency, but also as something kind of entangled with guilt and like self-hatred and kind of like a struggle for redemption. And a major takeaway that I had after reading this book is kind of the importance of owning your choices and kind of taking responsibility of your own life, no matter really how dark your decisions were in your past, and just kind of fighting to be better, and kind of whether or not you agree with Frey's approach to gaining independence after addiction. I would say that the main idea really is accountability and resilience, especially through all of the stuff that he went through in the book. So James Frey's writing style is kind of what set this book apart from a lot of other books. He used stream of consciousness, minimal punctuation, and run-on sentences. And it kind of just reflects the ideas that he was feeling at the time. It's chaotic almost, and it really kind of personifies like the way that he was feeling into the book. James Frey doesn't use quotation marks in his book, as well as he repeats a lot of words and phrases. And I kind of found it to be gimmicky and repetitive at first, but as I went in the book, it really kind of like showed to be a really powerful feature of his writing. And personally, I kind of like thought it gave the book an emotional urgency almost, and it kind of like made me look in a way that James was like living through, if that makes any sense. Okay, on to the question of whether this book was worth my time or not. I would say 100%. However, it has its drawbacks, as most things do. I admired kind of how brutally honest and raw the book was. However, knowing that it wasn't entirely true kind of did make me question how much of it I could fully trust, if that makes any sense. Still, like as a piece of literature, and maybe not journalism, it packed like a really big punch, and it like was kind of very meaningful to me. And I think I really love the vulnerability and the intensity and the way it kind of like dives into his life and like his personal struggles, even if it wasn't entirely true. I was very entertained by it, and I enjoyed it. So for a final verdict, I would recommend this book to a mature audience who doesn't mind some gritty content and doesn't mind blurred lines between fact and fiction. If you're looking for something very like sanitized and a feel-good recovery book, this isn't it, because obviously it is very explicit. But if you want something emotionally jarring, I think this book is definitely for you. And yeah, thank you.